I want to take you on a little tour of our course. First of all, when you come to the Canvas course, this is called the front page, and it may change throughout the year, it may stay the same, but it will kind of explain many of the things that I'm going to go through right now, so it would be good to read this over on your own time. I want you to notice that there are basically only three places to go to check your grades and go to the modules. You will go to the modules continually in this course, because that's where you'll find all of your information. Let me just close these little guys up and then talk to you a little bit about what you're looking at. First of all, these are called the modules, these things that I'm closing here. And they provide you with just a progression of what we're going to be learning. 1.0, 1.1, 1.15. This is a project. It may be optional. 1.2, 1.3, and so on. And then you'll notice we get to this point that's called a quiz that covers those modules. Now, more things will appear as the year moves on, but I want to talk to you a little bit about what's inside a module. First of all, there are some items called MiniLesson Materials. Now here, you will find the video for that particular lesson. It'll tell you how long it is, and so you can get a sense of that process. And it brings you in here, and then you can begin to play that video. Now, one thing I might say is that you might want to change the speed of these, and that's certainly okay. Currently, it's on normal. You might want to speed it up a little bit, not too much. You want it so that just to save yourself some time, but you don't have to do that. But here's where you'll actually watch that video and see what that particular lesson is about. So that's where you'll find that. Back here also you'll find the actual mini lesson. Now what this is just simply the outline of what I go over in the mini lesson video. So this is maybe what would be given out in some classes as a handout, but basically it just goes over the same things that the mini lesson just went over. So that's what the mini lesson materials are. They are the lesson materials. Then there are items called support notes and videos. This is some set of notes that you could look at that also go over. These are purely support or optional items. But if you didn't quite get everything you needed to understand, you could go look at these notes, and the notes will have examples and additional examples for you to try. There will also be more videos. Now, the video that you saw there was what we call a whiteboarding video, where you're just looking at someone working some things out. These videos will, at least the lesson ones of these versions, will tend to be, being taught from a whiteboard kind of a situation, and so they are a different format, and actually may be a format you might prefer or like. And so lesson ones are very similar, just a different format. The discussion area is purely optional, but if you got working on some problems and you couldn't get them done, then you can go in here and basically post. You could say, I need help on question, whatever, and you'd lay out the information. You can actually add in an image. You could upload an image to help me to know which question you're working on, or so on. So, and then anyone could reply to that, myself, but as well as others in the class could also reply to that. So that's purely optional, but it's there to help you out. Now the big part. So you've watched the video, you know what's going on, and you want to find out if you really do understand it. That's where you're going to go to the pre-assessment. Think of the pre-assessment as just working out problems, practice problems. Think of it as working in class and learning the basics of the material. And basically you're going to take a quiz. So I'm going to, actually let me go back there just for a second. It's called a quiz, a pre-assessment quiz, but it's not for any points. It's purely for practice. You can take it as many times as you want, and it will change each time. So if you feel like you need more practice, continue to do that. I want you to notice something. Right now, there is no post-assessment. That's where you're going to get your grade for this little activity, and it's currently locked until you've taken the pre-assessment. So you take the pre-assessment first, and I'll just quickly do a couple of questions to show you how it goes. So you'd read the problem and make a choice. Let's see if I can figure this out. I think this one is D, and then I'd move to the next one and so on. I'll skip to the end now, and we'll just look at the final result. So let me just hit submit now to submit my quiz. And it'll tell me how I did. So I only got one wrong, and I did it in so many minutes. And then it allows you to go and look at the answers. Now that's perfectly fine because the next quiz you'll take will be different answers, different questions. We want you to see the answers so that if you got one wrong, so if I went to find what I did wrong, I could say, oh, I see the answer. Let me work it backwards. So it's designed for practice. It's not designed for penalty. It's to tell you whether you do or don't understand the material. Now, if you got a low score, I would say get some help on it and go over it, or go look at the other videos or read the other notes, get a little more practice, and then try it again and again until you're getting more like 9 out of 10. Once you've taken that, I want you to show you what's actually going to happen back here. Do you remember how this guy was locked away and was not present? But you scored well enough to reveal it. And that may change as to what score you need to do to reveal it, but you shouldn't probably take it until you feel you truly understand it and you're getting good grades, whether it's unlocked or not. Now, the post assessment, think of it like the actual homework assignment. This one is a little different. You're allowed to take it twice, and it will take the higher of your two grades. Think of this like handing in your homework, but you actually have to do it, and you actually have to do it right to get a good grade. So keep an eye on that aspect of things, and you'll take that post-assessment. And that's the basic structure of it. You learn from the mini lesson video. You can get additional notes and videos and help. You can ask for help in here, and then you get all your practice and your doing work here, and then your final results are here. These are the ones that go into the grade book. Notice that when we did something there, it showed us that there's a grade that's come in, and so I can go in there and it will show me the grade that I got on that particular one. So this is the basic structure. Now, the only other thing to really tell you is I'll leave projects alone for now. Teachers will handle that a little bit differently, and some will do and some we won't do, and so on. But is the quiz. Now, when you get all the way done, the quiz also has a question area. There are some practice quizzes there. The first quiz will practice from the pre-assessment banks. This will be a practice from the post-assessment banks. And then here is the actual quiz. Now, the actual quiz will vary in its time and its length, and also you will not be able to start it unless you have an access code, and we'll reveal that as we go further through the process. The last thing is if there are any announcements that are made by the class, they will go at the very top of the home page. You'll see it there, and that's how everything's laid out. I think that'll get you up and going. Oh, I do know one more thing. Sometimes in the course, you will need to actually have a worksheet. And actually, the very first assignment requires that. So you'll notice here, this says print this off. So you'll want to go into this particular assignment. It will bring up the PDF, and then you will want to download that PDF. And what you would do is you would click on this link, and then it will ask you to save it to your desktop or to wherever, and then you could print it from there. Then what you'll do in this particular case, this only happens about 5 times in the entire course, But what you'll do is you actually will go to the assignment itself. Once you've completed it and printed it, you'll go to the assignment, and then it'll ask you to submit that. And you'll say, okay, I've completed it and I have a picture of it or a scan of it. You'll choose that file and you will actually upload that file and submit it that way. I think that gives you enough of an overview of the course and where things are at to get started and to get moving around a little bit. They should be done in order because things progress logically. If you skip around, you'll run into some trouble and your grades will go down. So move in the order that's provided. Good luck. Have a great year.